For everyone on board, please make sure that we stay seated throughout this entire trip. No standing up is allowed at any point in time, even if the truck is stopped. That goes for small children as well. They have to stay seated. They're not allowed to sit up in the air like baby Simba.
Silly.
Passed around, lap to lap, row to row, and do not let them walk through the rows either, though. They can sit on your laps for a better view, but they have to stay seated on their lap throughout the entire trip as well. This is a very bumpy road out here. If you drop anything outside of the truck, we are not allowed to stop and retrieve any of the items that you might have dropped off. Now, we can go out there and get the wards to retrieve your items for you later, but they're going to look very different because the animals do like playing with anything that falls outside of this truck. Now, when it comes to taking pictures of the animals, we can only stop for a few animals, and we can only stop for a few seconds. There are parts of this reserve where we are not allowed to stop at all for any animals. So have those cameras out and ready to go and set to an action or sports mode for the best pictures out here. Also, make sure we don't scream. No whistling, no hissing noises, no noises at these animals. To the right-hand side, there is an okapi, one of my favorite animals. Okapis have zebra-like stripes on their legs, but they are not at all related to the zebras. They're going to be the only close and known living relatives of the giraffes. They have the same skull structure, same long necks, even the same long tongues as the giraffe.
I didn't see nothing.
Here on the left, this is called a saddle-billed stork. Saddle-billed storks have an impressive wingspan of 9 feet wide. That's the size of the canopy that is right above your head right now. Back there to the left, up against a clay wall, is a black rhinoceros. Looks like a pile of rocks. It's not. It's a rhino. Black rhinos typically weigh about 3,000 pounds. They can still charge up to a good 35 miles per hour. They definitely don't allow their large weights to hold them down. Now, friends, unfortunately, due to the heavy poaching for rhino horns, there is less than 5,000 of them remaining in the entire world. Up the hill on the right-hand side, there are tan-colored antelopes hiding up there. We can see that one a little bit better. Those are greater kudu, most likely females. I didn't see any horns on them. Greater kudus are also the second tallest antelope species in Africa, standing at a height of 55 inches at the shoulders. To their left on top of this hill are bongos. Now, the bongos are nicknamed the ghost of the forest for a very good reason. They can camouflage very, very well, especially with the sunlight streaming in through the trees. Hence the nickname ghost of the forest. Now, what I recently discovered is that the bongos are critically endangered, meaning there's less than 100 bongos remaining in the entire world. And that is mostly due to habitat loss. Their homes are being taken away from them due to deforestation. So a great way to save the bongos' habitats is by recycling paper products, which does help reduce the amount of trees that are cut down each and every day. Now, here in the Safi River, keyword is going to be river. It means we're going to see lots and lots of water on our trip. Keep your eyes peeled in the water and around the water. Here to the left, there are Nile hippopotamus. Hippos are nocturnal animals, which means they're mostly active at night, not during the day. Unless there's food involved, they're very food motivated. They can spend a lot of their day completely submerged under the water, holding their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. Also here on the left on the island are pink-backed pelicans. Now, the pink-backed pelicans got their names from the pink coloration that they get during mating season. Their backs will turn into a slight shade of pink. They're also colonial nesters, which means that they nest in pairs of 20 to 500.
Oh, hippo!
Right there to the left, friends, baby hippo out on the island. Please stay seated, guys. Baby hippos are born at 80 to 110 pounds.
Aww.
Keep looking to your left are some Nile crocodiles.
Wow. Look at the crocodiles.
Make sure we stay seated, guys.
Crocodiles.
Now, crocodiles average at 16 feet long and 500 pounds. They can devour animals that are twice their size, like zebras and wildebeests. They have enough power in their super strong jaws to crush the bones of their prey. Now, believe it or not, with all of that being said, they are still not the #1 most dangerous animal here in Africa. Now, the #1 most dangerous animal here in Africa is the Nile hippopotamus. They are very territorial animals, and they do not like it when we stick around them for too long or too close, which is why we definitely don't spend a lot of time in the Safi River. And now we actually get to enter the savannah. This is actually my favorite place and the longest part of our journey. The savannah is where a lot of our favorite African animals live, like giraffes, elephants, lions, cheetahs, different antelope species. So just keep your eyes peeled for wherever these animals might be out here. You never know where and when these animals will pop up. They are very unpredictable and they are wild animals.
Oh, sorry, Mom. Good. Put you in there.
Now I know we see the giraffe. Please again, don't be loud, friends. We're gonna get close to that giraffe there in just a second. First thing we get to see out here is actually going to be a cave, and caves is a very great place for predator spotting. It's over here on the left-hand side. So just keep your eyes around the cave and inside the cave. Looks like some African wild dogs have made their home in this cave. African wild dogs, also known as painted dogs, are one of the most successful hunters in Africa.
See you.
They'll chase their prey until it drops from exhaustion. Friends, please stay seated for me. My friends in the hat, sit down. Por favor, manténgala sentado. No standing. On the left-hand side are Ankole cattle. They're also known as Watusi cattle. Named after the tribe that first domesticated them, the Watusi tribe. They're the only domesticated animals here on the reserve. To the left back there are sable antelopes, and they're the official emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve.
Oh,
Been avid since the year 1971. That's when the reserve was established.
Giraffe. Over here, Parker. Look, we're going to pass it.
Guys, please, no screaming.
Look, giraffe.
Now these here are Maasai giraffes, and we can tell they are Maasai giraffes by looking at the spots on their coats. Their spots have no real pattern. They're all very irregular and messy. Messy Maasai is how I like to remember them. No two Maasai giraffes are alike the other due to their unique spotted coats. So just like our fingerprints are unique to each and every one of us, their spots are going to be unique to each and every one of them as well. That's how they'll be able to tell each other apart. Now, as you may have noticed, all the giraffes are eating, and that's because giraffes eat for about 20 hours of the day. They have a 4-chambered stomach, which basically means they have
that's
4
Parker.
stomachs
Yeah.
that they have.
20 hours.
When it comes to sleeping, giraffes sleep for only about 30 minutes of the day. Those 30 minutes are broken down into smaller naps of about a minute or two. Now, over on the right-hand side, you see a tan-colored antelope that's walking around there. That's a baby Patterson eland, and it did look like Mama eland is hanging out back there. 50% of the Patterson eland population is found here on reserves or protected lands, much like this one. We can tell it's a female back there by looking at its size. Males are double the size of the females, so you usually can easily tell them apart from each other. That's still too soon to tell whether that baby is a boy or a girl. Over on the right-hand side, the silver grayish animals up at the top of the hill are white-bearded wildebeest. They're seen in very large herds that range anywhere from 30,000 up to 1 million of them, which does make them the second most densely packed mammal herd in the entire world. The smaller antelope you see sitting down over there, that's called a springbok. Springboks have an amazing ability called pronking, and that's their ability to leap 6 feet into the air repeatedly from a standing position whenever they're frightened or excited. They can leap 13 feet forward and reach a high speed of 50 to 60 miles per hour whenever they run. They have landed a spot in the top 10 fastest land mammals list. We see more springbok over there to the right, and as you can see, they're very tiny. They're not babies, they're fully grown at that small size. In between the palm trees, you see a small giraffe head that belongs to a baby giraffe. Baby giraffes are born at 6 feet tall. That's already taller than most people on this truck right now. I know it's a whole foot taller than I am. Full-grown giraffes will reach a height of 18 to 20 feet tall, fully grown. That does make them the tallest mammals in the entire world.
Getting to know you very well.
Now, it does seem that we may have entered elephant country out here. I see a lot of broken down trees, and that's usually a really good sign that they are nearby. Elephants are really the only big animals that can knock down trees. Now, it does look like some mandrills are hanging around here to the left. They're a little bit harder to spot.
Oh, I see it.
They're kind of hiding in between the trees out there.
You see it? It's back there by the wall.
Largest monkey species, and they are monkeys. They have tails. Their tails are just short and tiny. You can tell the males apart from the females by the bright colors on their backside as well as the bright colors on their face. Now back over here to the right hand side, that's a male African elephant over there. Now I say that's a male because it's most likely a male because it's all alone.
Look at elephant, Parker. Turn around. Look at the elephant. There's a big elephant.
Now male elephants spend a lot of time by themselves once they reach a mature age of 13 to 15. Once they reach that mature age, the females give them the boot. They're no longer allowed to live in the herd with the other females. Now, as you saw, there was a sign. It said road closed. That road is closed. That was our main road, and unfortunately it got washed away with the heavy rainstorms we get here in Africa. So we have been granted access to use this service road here, which did have this old bridge. But don't worry, we used duct tape to fix that bridge, so it's all okay now. Now, because we don't normally get to take this road, we don't normally get to see the red clay that's here on the right and the left. Red clay is a great spotting place for elephants. They love to use their tongues to loosen the clay. They'll eat it for the minerals that it provides them. Here on the left and right, you see the test marks from these elephants. Now, this red clay is not the only mineral that can be found out here. There are many other minerals. One particular mineral is called coltan. Coltan is what powers many of our electronic items, like our cell phones, tablets, and laptops. Unfortunately, though, the mining for coltan causes a lot of habitat loss.
There's elephant.
For animals like mandrills, elephants, gorillas. They're all affected by that habitat loss for coltan. Now, if at home you guys recycle your old electronics that you no longer use, or whenever you upgrade, that's a great way to help out these animals, and that's something that I do at home and something that I encourage my entire family to do as well. Here on the left, it does seem that we spotted an elephant herd. I definitely see more elephants up ahead. An elephant herd is a matriarchal herd. Please stay seated for me. My friend in the back, sit down.
There's the kids up there.
Alright, my friend in the black hat, I need you to sit down for me.
Keeps getting up. Wow.
Up here onto the left, we also see a group of flamingos. A group of flamingos is known as the flamboyants. Flamboyants of greater flamingos. The greater flamingos are the tallest in the flamingo family, reaching a height of 5 feet tall, fully grown, so they are my height. They're also the lightest shade of pink of all the flamingos in the flamingo family. And we finally spot the rest of that elephant herd back there. Now, the oldest and the wisest female is in charge of the elephant herd, and that's because she has all the knowledge. She knows where the best watering spots are, food spots are, really the best anything is at, so definitely the elephants want to follow the older female. Now, we have entered the part of the savannah where we are not allowed to stop, so if you guys want pictures, again, set your cameras to an action or sports mode and have those cameras out and ready to go. These animals could show up at any point in time out here, and really, I cannot stop. I can slow down, but not too much, and we'll have to keep it going.
Weren't you scared, Britt? Ever scared when you did that?
No. Now, this part of the savannah is a great place for rhino spotting, white rhinos to be exact. So just keep your eyes peeled for white rhinos, as well as cheetahs. This is usually a great place for cheetah spotting as well.
You never got charged or anything?
Alright, so I do see a cheetah. It's over on the left-hand side. You can just see the back side of the yellow there. It's trying to sit out under the shade. Cheetahs are the world's fastest land mammals with the ability to reach a speed of 60+ miles per hour in just 3 seconds, much like a sports car. They can only hold their speed for a short few seconds. They are natural sprinters, not long-distance runners, and they'll tire very easily after their sprint. They will have to stop and rest. Up here, this is known as the GOPR rocks. GOPR rocks are also known as Pride Rock from the Lion King, of course. This is where predators like the lions want to make their home. That up there, of course, is Simba. Simba is Swahili.
Oh, look, there's a
for
lion up there. You see it? He's up on
So
top of
lion
the
in
rock.
Africa, including females,
He's
will
laying
be
down.
Simba. As you saw, that lion wasn't doing much. That is pretty common for the lions around this time of the day. Lions like to rest for about 16 to 20 hours. They're mostly active in the middle of the night for about 4 to 5 hours, and it's in those 4 to 5 hours of activity that the females will hunt. Males typically just stay back, watch over the pride and the cubs. They're really good dads. But they do have those very large manes. A lion mane weighs about 40 pounds. It's 40 pounds of hair on their head. That's definitely a lot of hair to be out there running around with. Down here on the right, I spotted some white rhinos. White rhinos got their names from the mistranslation of the Afrikaans word white. White means wide due to their very wide mouths and not the color white. It was just mistranslated for so long that it stuck around, and they became known as the white rhinos.
You see the
since.
rhino?
They're not actually
Look,
white
the
in
rhino.
color like every other rhino.
The
They
white
will be
rhino,
a gray
look.
color. It's just hidden underneath all that mud and dirt. Rhinos love to roll around in the mud. It helps them keep cool, act as a natural sunblock, and an insect repellent as well. So mud does serve many purposes for many animals out here. White rhinos are cousins to the black rhino, that first rhino that we saw, but they don't get along, which is why you'll never see them socializing together and why they live very far apart from each other as well. Now here we do get to cross on over into the last but most recent edition of the reserve. Welcome into Magadi Glen. Magadi Glen was made possible due to the close association between the Harambe Wildlife Reserve and the Disney Conservation Fund. This is where a lot of quiet animals like to live as well. They tend to make little to no noise at all, and they do like to hide. A known hiding spot for these animals is over here on the right-hand side down this path. If you look down the path to your right, you'll see a scimitar horned orcs trying to hide out back there. Unfortunately for the orcs, as they did go extinct out in the wild in the year 2000. But back in 2016, they were reintroduced. And in 2018, about 180 of them were born out in the wild due to all the conservation efforts out there. Of course, the Disney Conservation Fund has played a big part in helping out these animals, and you guys play an even bigger part. When you guys donate right here at Disney's Animal Kingdom, whether it be in the merchandise or outdoor food and beverage locations, rounding up your purchase to the nearest dollar or donating pocket change, that can all make a really big difference. And that's because the Disney Conservation Fund will match every single cent that you donate, so every penny that you donate counts. Last year alone, they were able to raise millions of dollars thanks to the many small donations made by a lot of people that visited the park. And since 1995, when the Conservation Fund was established, till today, they were able to raise $70 million to help out all these animals. That's really impressive and really amazing. Unfortunately, the animals can't thank you guys for all the help that you've given or will give, so I'll do it for them. Thank you so much, everyone, for everything that you've done and everything that you might do to help out the endangered animals. They hold a very special place in my heart, and hopefully now they can hold a special place in your heart as well. Now, friends, we're almost back to our dock here, guys, so hang on. Now, before we make our way to our dock, we do have to wait here for just a few seconds.
Yeah, right? Your butt itches, huh?